So the majority of us, as we know, we live in a time period where there's a lot of different realities that we can live in. And a lot of people just walk a path with this conscious sense of they want to do better. But when you're actually in the reality of doing better, it's difficult, especially because there's so many traps, there's so many snares that are thrown our way for us truly not to fully align with the highest versions of ourselves. I think it comes down to most people want a lifestyle that is better. A lot of people are struggling financially. A lot of people are heartbroken. A lot of people are lonely. A lot of people are dealing with trauma. And so when we take a look at humanity in general, we start to understand that there's a void that needs to be filled in our hearts specifically, because most of these relationships, most of these things that we see, especially with social media, it's being put out in a world full of distortions. What I think is a lot of people aren't truly being authentic. And most people right now are starting to see through that veil. The veil has been lifted. And so most people want the real. Most people want to experience the real. Most people want to feel something that's more. And so what I tend to realize is in order for you to do that, you have to awaken to the truth that God has put more in you and you have to become more. Your current reality is probably not in full alignment. Your thoughts, your words, your actions aren't truly moving in the same direction. So that can cause a shift to where you're either following a path that you know you must become better and you're trying to do that daily, or you're living in a version to where you make a decision, you commit, you understand how difficult that decision is going to be, and then you fall back. And then that place puts you in an uncomfortable position because now you're stuck in between two different spots. You know you could do more. You know you could become more. You know there's more there. But at the same time, you're not doing it. So your spirit feels off. Your spirit is calling you for more. Your spirit is calling you to rise. But at the same time, your flesh is telling you, no, stay comfortable. Stay here. We don't want you to grow. We don't want you to rise. We don't want you to shine. We don't want you to break these generational curses. So it's extremely difficult for us as humans living in this reality right now. Most people are starting to understand that these things aren't truly aligning with themselves. So more people are getting off social media. More people are deciding to say no to news, deciding to say no to people that are putting them in toxic environments. So that's the shift that I think is positive, because when we truly collectively rise together, many of us can help each other out because we don't feel like we're lonely anymore. Like we don't feel like we're different, because you might be that person. You might be that one different person your whole life where you saw from the beginning, your eyes were open and you were able to receive what God has shown you. But a lot of people might think that you're too crazy. They might think that you're just a weirdo for thinking those things. So you might feel like an outcast, and that's okay. That's how I felt the majority of my times. But now more people are starting to see what we're seeing. So it's a shift happening to where they could feel it in the air. They want more. They want more. And God is telling you to become more. And this is the process of what I'm starting here at God Over Demons. We're choosing our spirit over our flesh. We're choosing daily actions that allow us to truly build systems so that we can truly become somebody that we're proud of. And what that means is we're installing discipline. We're installing order. We need more order because a lot of people are living in chaos. A lot of people aren't being a man or woman of their word. They don't follow through. Their actions aren't aligning. Their consistency isn't there. And they're truly being a position to where they want to be comfortable. And God is telling you, in order for you to grow, you have to be uncomfortable. You have to truly walk through that fire, and you have to be refined by that fire. And so when we're deciding to fully commit, you have to go all in. And sometimes that's not pretty. Sometimes your faith is going to be tested. Sometimes you're going to truly doubt. And that doubt is where a lot of people are sitting right now. And that's where they feel off because they're doubting everything. They're doubting their career choice. They're doubting their lover. They're doubting what their purpose is on this life. And so God is telling you, take some time and be still and come back to me and align your hearts with the heavens so that we can truly put you on your mission and you can embrace the higher calling. And that's what I want you guys to do. When you're walking with God, you have to remain faithful. A faithful servant is what's needed right now. Obedient. You have to surrender. You have to understand that God sometimes has seasons in your life to where they're going to be highs and they're going to be lows, and it may not be a pretty season for you. It might be a difficult season. You might be feeling pain. You might be feeling suffering, because when I went through my spiritual awakening, it was suffering. It was depression. It was loneliness. It was me battling my mental health, because there was days where I didn't even want to get out the bed, because I'm like, what's the point? And you might be there. You might say, what's the point? But trust me, if you're still here, God has a purpose for you. God may have truly wanted you to be in that painful time so that you can understand the beauty in that struggle, so you can be grateful, so that you can be faithful. Because if you have everything figured out, a lot of people aren't going to walk with God. The person that has been tested, the person that has been built through pain, is the person that God will use, because you'll have a testimony, and you may have the testimony that can shine light in a world full of darkness. So I want you to understand that your journey is only beginning, and you're hearing the sound of my voice for a reason. You clicked on this video for a reason, and that reason is for you to embrace your calling, for you to become more. Answer the call. God is calling you. All praise to the Most High. If you're with me, put down in the comments, walking with God. Until next time, peace.